You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. 0-2 the count with the Wheatland Ducks taking on the Lemont Indians. Lemont, the away team, the lower seed. Good pitch, outside corner, missed. As the lefty just missed, and wearing the wristbands, not supposed to do that, but base umpire missed it, and we're going to play on. Tonight, just say really can't wear wristbands on the mound. That one's fouled away. Little fly ball to short, and it's caught, and that's one up, one down for the Wheatland Ducks. Outside corner, strike one. That swung on and missed, strike two. Good job on the breaking ball. And now he's in a hole early on, 0-2 is the lefty for the Wheatland Ducks, getting it done. Wind up in the pitch, outside corner, missed for a ball. Ground ball to third. One hopper past the glove of the first baseman, and an early error, one up, one down, and then a runner at first. Still no hitter intact for the young number 10 on the mound for the Ducks. Low for a ball. One on, one out. If you're just joining us, it's the Ducks against the Indians. Slow line drive, good catch, and an LD 4-3 double play, and that does it for the Indians. So an error. Nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the first. No score here at the home of the Glen Ellen Rebels. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. It's all right. They need to give us more time. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, this was kind of really close. So.
Are we ready to come on a break?
Just make sure our audio's.
Check your audio back in.
Check.
Levels.
Checking them. I'm not getting anything. Yeah, they're up. Yep. Nope. I'm not getting anything.
Does this thing have power?
Yeah. Should have power everywhere. I don't know why it's not receiving us at all.
Bottom of the first, Kyle Smith alongside Lucas Moore and Eric Ratchey on videography, and it's been a fun day, Lucas, and by fun, a lot of stuff going on, but that's what makes broadcasting fun.
Oh, always ready to be bouncing left, bouncing right, just like a baseball could on an infield grass. So ready to go, ready to roll, and that was one heck of a play by the Ducks to end the last inning on a double play, and that's the type of momentum they need. They're the home team, they're the higher seed, they're the favorites, so if they can really hammer in some runs here in the first inning, it could be a nice start for the Wheatland Ducks. This is a 44-17 team, Kyle, so they've got plenty of confidence, and that double play will only give them more of it.
It was a slow line drive to the second baseman, and as it's in the dirt for a ball. Both teams, they've been the lower seed a lot of the time, especially the Indians, but they found a way to get here, including the semifinal, and a very exciting game to watch. They beat Bolingbrook 5-3, the 12-8 matchup. And both Ducks teams in the championship game for the 14U division, AA and AAA. Pretty exciting. They were back-to-back, too.
Yeah, great program that Jim Baca has built there. I mean, the type of weight training they did this offseason that he was telling me about was awesome.
Yeah, the P3 with they're pushing the tires up and down.
Yep, and then they've got 2 separate weight training sessions a week. This entire Wheatland Ducks squad, they should be seeing some varsity high school baseball within the next 2 years.
And most of the guys will go to Mattia, Wabanzi. Although this year, for the green team, it's going to be Mattia, a little bit of Montini Catholic, actually, so that's a little bit of a drive from Aurora, as the Wheatland Athletic Association is in the Aurora area.
Yeah, 5 different high schools will be represented on this Wheatland Ducks roster. And they want some of those rings that the AA team just got a few minutes ago.
Little fly ball. Major league pop-up. And shortstop got a late break on it, but he gets the catch regardless, and it's an out for the Indians.
Hey, that shortstop play behind second base, you said major league pop-up, that's major league defense to make that play. It's got to be an aggressive play, and at this age, it's never a sure thing. And that's what you'll see at this AAA level, a lot of doing the little things right.
Yeah, sometimes the shortstop might panic on that and have the center fielder take it, but he was playing too deep to catch that ball, even with a major league pop-up. So good job. The shortstop leader of the infield taking charge there. And another major league pop-up, and 3 up, 3 down for the Indians. So we go to the top of the second, no score. It's Ducks 0, Indians 0 here on Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Let's go.
All right.
I think we got, I can't hear it. We can't hear ourselves.
No.
It might be this. It's always, this one has always given me trouble. Box return. Control room out. Yeah. If not, no big deal. We're standing right next to each other. Everything's up. No.
I would have been like running in like forward.
It's all right, Eric. Let's not stress about it.
But I was right there, so if he bobbled it, I would have been there.
No. That's all right.
I know, but it's just,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Problem for another day.
As long as the audio is working and the audience can hear it, that's all I care about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can see the audio too.
Just hopefully it's not coming through like the camera.
Top of the second inning, it's the Lemont Indians 0 and the Ducks 0. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Lucas Moore and Eric Ratchie for the 14U AAA game.
Eric loaded up with the pro camera. Always looking good over here down the first base line.
This ain't Eric's first rodeo. Lucas. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, got the monitor and everything. I mean, if Eric misses a shot tonight, I don't know. He's got a big screen to look at it.
There's no hope for our other videographers. We've had some excellent games today. I was just on the 12U game. That was 4-2, and the home team had the bases loaded. Chance to tie, couldn't get it done. Outside corner missed.
A lot of great baseball players. I was just walking around, milling around, listening, and you know, I've been around youth baseball coaching quite a bit, and there's more talent I've seen here than any tournament of this age.
Illinois has got great high school and travel baseball. That's a 1-3 put out if you're scoring at home. Only issue is, partner, is they just don't stand a chance in these tournaments against teams from South Carolina, Georgia, any team south of the Mason-Dixie line, because they get to play
all year.
All year.
Yeah, that's always a problem with the northern states. And that's why the northern colleges play in the South for the first 40 games of every season. I mean, I know my Ohio University, they were 22-22 by the time they came back to campus.
That's a foul ball, and catcher will learn once he plays next year at the freshman level. On deck gets that, not the catcher.
Yeah, I love the hustle, though.
Let's go, Sporty! What do you say now, big guy?
That changeup got too much of the plate, but well read by the left fielder, and a catch for the Ducks.
What a great piece of hitting, though. You saw his body kind of react to the changeup, but he kept his hands back, and he was able to still pull it down the left field line on an inside pitch changeup. I mean, I know it's a fly out in the book, but that's a good piece of hitting.
In baseball, you're a 300 hitter, you're a Hall of Fame player. It's a lot different than basketball and other sports where you're looking for a lot higher field goal percentages. Another 1-2-3 inning. This time it goes the way of the Ducks on defense. Bottom of the second, no score here on Field 2 at Village Green Park.
That's a lineup for down. I don't know if you need some of that.
Hey, Jake, good hit, bud.
Eric, you're perfect. I can tell. It's bothering the heck out of you, isn't it? So much so that you're going to stand down there, right on my back.
Nothing score as we head to the bottom of the second. And if you were looking for a home run derby game, it might still happen, but so far so good for a pitcher's duel, as both pitchers doing a good job changing speeds and locating.
Well, I mean, these are the best pitchers. If the rating, the AAA, AA, single A rating here at the WSBL is anything to say, and these are the two championship teams from our oldest division, from our most talented division, then these are probably two of the best pitchers that the WSBL has to offer. I mean, these guys throw hard. I mean, we've seen that already. And so it's starting out quick like this, it can make for one of the most exciting types of championship games because the tension builds way quick. No team gets out in front. Every team feels like they're just one hit away. Should make for a fun run.
Here we go, one.
Counter!
Bottom of the second, no score once again. 88 still on the mound, of course, as he had an excellent 1-2-3 inning.
It's a nice pitch.
Pulled the string on him for a change-up strike. Reeder on the mound for the Ducks. He's been through a lot, especially with that tornado that hit Naperville, but it's not showing it on the playing field. He is getting the job done for Wheatland.
Yeah, it's tough when stuff happens to your home, especially at that age, but a lot of resiliency on this Wheatland team, and a lot of togetherness, and they mentioned that in the pregame interview with you, Kyle.
Yeah. Langan, his brother, dealing with cancer. He's in remission, thank goodness, and he comes to a lot of the games. Team cheers for him. He actually had a segment in Naperville Community Television about that. A room for Michael's brother. Meanwhile, we have a baseball game today, and it is one heck of one thus far. Even though both teams are on the lower seed, they show to be the two best teams in the tournament. That's high for a ball. 2-2 the count. Nobody out. Just got a piece of it.
I love Milewski's delivery. It's simple. You know, nobody on base, no need for a windup here. You just simplify everything. You come high, you set, and you just deliver.
Good pitch, Bo.
And just watch how simple this delivery is, Kyle. Just brings it up.
He's barely moving that front foot to come set.
Oh, what a pitch.
And not only did he raise the ladder there, but he raised it just a little bit higher to make it look like a strike. When you raise it too much, it's easy to lay off because it's a straight fastball.
Well, and I love just the coaching here because Molesky's a kid with long legs. A lot of times kids, when they have long legs, they can overextend, they can be doing too much, and it affects their control. He's so straight up and down. He's just using that natural velocity that pops right out of the hand. That foul ball almost hit a team celebrating a championship on the other field, Kyle.
Could have been Mark Harmon in our postgame show as he was getting ready to go on the field. It's in the dirt for a ball. Only if that was Eddie Goodell at the plate would that have been a strike.
Or Angel Hernandez.
Well, Angel Hernandez as the umpire. Good pitch, but just missed. And when I say good pitch, you don't always have to throw strikes. If it's close enough to being a strike where it's a pitcher's pitch, and you try to get that batter to bite, those are good pitches too.
Well, these guys are about to enter high school where they're going to need to not just throw strikes. You got to play with the strike zone. You got to understand counts. You got to understand the hitters you're facing. You attack different players in different situations. A great 0-2 pitch is not a great 1-0 pitch. And that's the nuances of the game that these kids are going to really start to grasp over the next few years.
At every pitch, you don't have to have the same delivery. You can change your delivery. You can change the speeds a little bit. You don't have to just do the same delivery every single time, if you feel confident with that, obviously.
Yeah, especially with runners on base. You want to change the speed of how quickly you get to the plate.
Little three-hopper to third. This should be an easy out, and it is. As the first baseman, read it all the way, waited for it, and then stretched for the out.
Let's go 3, get us going with 2.
You're going to have to earn those hits today, partner, as the defense is there for both teams.
Well, that's what a championship game should be at this level, because that means you've got good pitching and you've got good fielding. And once you get good pitching and good fielding, that's when you start to get to high-level baseball, because kids can hit pretty early. It's not too hard. It's hard to hit a baseball, but kids learn to hit it pretty early.
What's great about this Lemont team, why they're probably in the championship game, is a lot of their players play multiple sports, including Jake Solzberger, a future All-State wrestler. He's also responsible for the team music, but never brings a speaker, interestingly enough.
And I talked to Jim Baca before the game today, and he was saying that some of these players were at football practice this morning. They were at football practice this morning, which, you know, that's what the sport of football usually does. Hey, you got a baseball final tonight? Nah, you still got to show up, push some sleds, get the helmet on, run around.
You'll be feeling that if you went to practice and you're catching tonight. That's for sure, on those legs.
No catchers, I think. And if they did, hopefully they told their football coach, hey, I'm catching tonight. No squats.
I got a battle.
A lot of
Huge gap
options here
I
for Molesky.
was just going to say huge gap in left center. As that's
Now we're back in it.
low for a ball. Kind of surprised there's such a gap in left center as some of these players like to pull it.
Yeah, I think they pulled a few this inning, so kind of agree with their comment. What a pitch.
No chance to hit that even if you had a tennis racket. Strike 3. Lemont gets out of it. We go to the top of the third. No score here on Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Let's get some of the Ducks human interest stories in here.
Of course. I'm kind of in a position to where I'm pretty stuck. I've got the Ducks stats right here if you want them. And their numbers are right there. And that's their pitchers. And then I've got the info sheet over here too, so you can use those if you need it. No. I tell you, as soon as it. Oh, there it goes.
There it
Oh,
is.
Eric. Oh, don't. You were down here pushing stuff. Don't look at me.
Hey, he's the on-air talent. You're the camera operator, huh?
Yeah, man. I was trying to do it, and you were like, I'm
telling
going
me
to do
my
it.
job, Kyle.
Hey, come on, 1, 3, set us off here,
You ready?
kid.
My head's on fire.
3, 2.
Let's go, 1, 3.
Top of the third inning, no score, as Lemont and the Wheatland Ducks. We have a pitcher's duel led by Chase Reeder. Doing it for mom and dad as they're dealing with a tough time. Now, they didn't have it as bad as their neighbors did with the tornado, but you just never know in Illinois. So you never think a tornado is going to happen until it does. And, good to see that Chase is dealing with it well, and he's pitching a great game.
Pitches with a great rhythm, too. I mean, I love to see kids that are just comfortable. And, oh, it's such a nice curveball.
Yeah. And it's hard to sit on that because sometimes if you sit on the curveball, the pitcher's going to rear back and fire at the knees with the fastball. So you just gotta be kind of ready for both pitches at this age level. He was thinking fastball that time. It's a breaking ball.
Kroback had just started the at-bat, chased a pitch low, and once you get behind on Reeder, it's going to be a tough day for you.
He's got good size, too, on the mound. Looks like went out the foot, and the home plate umpire agrees.
Well, he's got the size. He also comes, and I'll see it again to see exactly where his arm slot is, but when it is a left-handed pitcher coming from that type of arm slot at this age, at this velocity, with those, it just is amazingly tough to hit, especially for a left-handed hitter.
Sure is. And, we're going to get Chase Reeder's stats in a minute here, but this is a team, the Wheatland Ducks. This doesn't faze them. They're 44-7 team. They've won 3 tournaments, 2 second-place finishes, 1 third. So 6 times they're either getting the bronze, silver, or gold medal. I mean, this doesn't faze them. It doesn't really faze Lemont either. They played in their fair share of championship games. So if you were thinking that they're going to be errors today and people showing being pressured into this spot, no, they're definitely playing within themselves.
I've seen a lot of varsity baseball. Seen a lot of low-level high school baseball. I can tell you, just looking at this field and watching these kids play for 3 innings, watching them hit BP before the game, this team could beat varsity teams throughout the country, no doubt about it. I'm talking 17 and 18-year-olds.
Duck snort is that's a lot of encouragement and praise from my partner here. And a bloop single, but a single is a single, and it's a base hit for the
There's some varsity teams that aren't very good, Kyle. I think that's okay to admit.
I know I'm switching gears here with baseball versus football, but are you in the mindset that Alabama could beat an 0-16 NFL team?
Not at all. I think it's a completely different thing.
Okay.
I think those are athletes at a completely different level. And this is the sport of baseball. I think that a college team could beat a major league team on any given day. If you play 162, they'd win like 30. Because one day the major league team's just going to line out to everybody.
That one's fouled away. Yeah, there's been times being a Chicago baseball fan where the Vanderbilt Commodores could beat the Cubs in Sox at times. It seemed like. So you like the Reds or the Indians?
Oh, the Reds. But I've kind of, since I moved to Chicago, it's a nice little move from Reeder.
He's like a cat. Looked like a bark almost. What do you think?
I'll have to watch it again.
I say almost because it's got to be more than a 45-degree angle. That's strike 3.
First base.
Yep. Now, some runners, you won't see it as much at the varsity level and higher up, but some runners will still run to first and try to get that catcher to throw it. It's still a live ball, but once you get higher up with baseball, it's kind of like an unwritten rule. You don't do that for the integrity of the game. I hate the unwritten rules, but that's a conversation for another day. But, yes, you sometimes see runners run to first, but batter that time he gives up on the play.
Well, as a coach, if you think the other team is not properly prepared for these situations, it's your responsibility to tell your team how to take advantage of the unpreparedness. Right? So if you think they're going to get confused by it, then send them and see if you can steal a base. And look, Reeder's working so quick. That first at-bat took 35 seconds. And he's just on the mound again and again.
Yeah, it's up to the batters to call for time, but the home plate umpire doesn't have to grant it. 3 unassisted put out. That does the minor threat for the Indians. We go to the bottom of the third. Still no score here on Sports Broadcast Solutions. Where are the pitching stats? I couldn't find them.
Oh, just score.
Okay. I'm an idiot when it comes to Max. I apologize.
No worries. It's a 2-finger score. That's the thing to remember. Oops, sorry. Are you going to make me more comfortable?
Put the ball in play, you never know.
Thanks, Eric.
That's all you got to do.
Okay. Yep, just double finger scroll, and then if you want to get back to game changer, you got to click the bottom left. Just click the bottom left like this is there. You got to like pretend that's there, and that's always how I
Sorry, can you do it for me?
No worries.
Just gonna stay in the pitching stance for a while. Okay. Reader's pitching. We ready? Top of the fourth, sorry, bottom third. It's going by so fast, I'm forgetting the innings. It's bottom of the third as the Wheatland Ducks and the Lemont Indians, they both have not scored tonight. And we'll see if that will become the case later on in the game. We do play extras tonight because we need a champion, of course. It will be California rules. Now, not the Major League California rules, the younger levels. So runner at second, 1 out, 1-1 count.
1 out?
1 out.
I've never really heard of that. Never seen that input in play, so that should be interesting if we get there. And hey, if the result holds from last time these two teams played, they will get there. They actually tied when they played in the WSBL season, 9-9. So if they're headed for that same result here, it'll get there a little quicker if they keep up at this pace.
Nothing score. A pitcher's duel at its finest between the Indians and the Ducks. In fact, neither team has gotten as far as second base. I believe they play 55-80 here for 14U, and then when they play freshmen next year, it'll become 60-90. Some 14U tournaments, it's 57-85, but usually 55-80.
I think if you're about to enter high school, it's time to play on the big field.
Time to play with the big boys. A little three-hopper to the pitcher should be an easy out, and it is. Gets him by a step, and it's not just about pitching the ball, partner. You got to feel your position, too.
A nice little play from Molesky off the mound. He's pitching a really good game.
Yeah, I mean, both pitchers, they have a little bit different deliveries, but it's effective, and that's all that matters.
And they're both simple, you know, and that's what coaching needs to get to, is just simplicity, man. Make it easy on them.
Like Greg Maddox wasn't the most menacing force on the mound, but he threw strikes, and he pitched it where the hitters couldn't hit it.
Well, and Molesky, he throws hard, right? If you throw hard, let's make it easy on him. Let's make it easy to place our pitches. You know, let's not make it complicated so we can do this fancy mechanic.
And I think that's what makes baseball great. You got to roll this Chapman, he can throw it 108 miles an hour. You got Greg Maddox, barely threw at 90. You got Mark Burley, very rarely threw at 90. They all had success in Major League Baseball. Why? Because it's an art form. The easiest pitch to hit is a straight fastball. So that's the reason, among many, why Rajay Davis hit that 2-run bomb off Aroldis Chapman. It was a 103-mile-an-hour fastball, but it was straight. So you got to have, it's got to be an art form. You got to change speeds. You got to locate. Pitching is just so difficult. It's one of the top 5 most difficult positions in all the 4 major sports.
And what's tough about Molesky is the angle he's coming at. He comes straight over the top. And so when you're working at that much of a downward angle, it's hard to catch fastballs. They actually have a little downward tilt to them.
That was a nasty pitch. I might have swung at that back in my playing days.
Now just be patient here. Full count. Haven't had a base runner yet if you're the Ducks.
I'm thinking change up outside corner. It's a foul to the third base side. Now the grass is a little bit high. They try their best to mow this, but it does get a little bit high, so it's going to die on the grass. So if you're thinking 2 out of the box, you really got to be running because it's going to die and help out those outfielders.
And same for the infielders. You've got to be breaking in on a ground ball.
In the dirt, ball 4. I like that, though. Make him earn it. He gets to first base. It's not great, but you also don't want to leave a juicy fastball right down the middle for a home run.
It's a great walk. It's a great walk by Tardif. Get on base.
Hey guys, let's go.
Yeah, it was just a good at bat, good pitching, and that time was won by Tardif. Yeah.
There's
like,
that grass you're talking about. That might skip a little more. This grass is thin. Maybe that gets halfway down the right field line, and then you've got a different situation heading to second.
It's just so advantageous to these pitchers because they know if I have a good first baseman that's going to get at least a glove on it, it's going to die on that grass. So there's no chance for that runner to advance. A little blooper to the outfield. Hit them where they ain't. That's how you do it against a good pitcher, and that's what the Ducks are doing this inning. That time by Calderero.
That pitch was high. Now, what happens with a guy that comes out of that straight over-the-top arm slot, Kyle, is if you throw high pitches, you don't get that downward break. You kind of flatten out your fastball. So actually, some guys that come over the top, some of the easiest pitches to hit are right where Calderero just hit that pitch. Shoulder high, because it's flattened out. If you swing at stuff at your knees, it's going to be diving under.
As he has a pickoff play towards second. We're going to take a break. Lucas is going to take over for me. I'll be back in a minute. Lucas, have fun. I'll be back in a minute.
Sounds good. We'll step aside here on Sports Broadcast Solutions.
We got to scratch one out here. Second.
Back here in Glen Ellen. Scoreless game here in the championship. Runners on first and second. A bunt placed down the line by Brendan Lynch, the last hitter in the order, and they didn't throw to first. Nobody was covering for Lemont. And the bases are juiced for the Wheatland Ducks here in the bottom of the third inning. And that's two what coaches would call mental mistakes tonight for Lemont. One base running error in the first inning, ran into a double play on a line drive, and right there, nobody covering first on a bunt, and now the base is loaded for Wheatland, and back to the top of the order with Kiet Truant. Catcher tonight, Molesky. Curveball in the dirt again. 1 ball and no strikes. Just 1 out with the bases juiced.
Thanks, buddy. We had a little technical difficulty on the 13U field, but we got it going.
As long as you're back.
If the 13U field was on the other side of the park, that wouldn't have been so much fun.
Let's get to it up there.
Get some cardio in. Nothing like late night cardio after the type of day you probably have.
It hasn't been fun, partner, but I'm glad you're here, and it's good to have somebody that loves the game of baseball as much as me.
Yeah, it just brings a joy to my heart to come out here and just hear the kids and, you know, kids asking, hey, how do I throw a knuckleball, and just that type of stuff. It's warming of the soul. It's good for you, you know?
Hey, coming at you right here.
Next half inning, I'll share my knuckleball story. It's pretty funny. How I thought a knuckleball was actually you put all the knuckles on the ball.
Yeah.
And so I threw it, and it was like 5 feet in front of the plate.
Yeah, that's a common misconception. I think some Major League pitchers have been able to get 4 fingers on it, although they've got giant hands. So I'm imagining Kyle Smith, when you tried this at a certain age, I don't know which one, probably didn't have big enough hands.
Yeah, 13U, and I have small hands anyways. So that's a good pitch. Outside corner for a strike. 1 down, corners in, infield back. So they're hoping that they get a good 2-hopper to short or third for the double play. And I know it's a 0-0 game, but you really don't want to give a big inning by having infield in here.
I mean, this feels like a huge run.
Well, there it is. First run of the game goes away to the Ducks. You give up another run here without getting it out, then you got to go infield in. But I think they're going to give it one more try. Down 1.
Yeah,
one
still
out,
go for the
loaded.
double play. I mean, I wasn't suggesting bringing the infield in. It just kind of is brutal to be down 1-0 when you've got a guy like Reeder on the mound. The underrated part of that last play was Sulzberger's block.
Yeah.
That easily could have scored 2 runs.
Look at that pitch. I mean, I know it hangs, but you just don't expect that on 0-0.
Yep, when he nails that release point on that hook, it's a great pitch. If he drags his release point a little lower, then it ends up bouncing. But as a hitter, if it's a good pitch, we'll see almost what he did go for it.
And he has such a different arsenal of pitches. 0-0 curveball. You just don't expect that as a hitter. Okay, now it's 0-1. Now he's going to throw a changeup. 0-1, he goes back to the curveball. I mean, he just does so many different things on the mound to always keep you guessing at the plate. 0-2 the count. See if he goes with the curveball again. Fastball and fouled away. Got a little bit too much of the plate that time, but it's just so hard to time his pitches.
Go Big Ten.
And Molesky's next step as he develops into high school is getting those arm speeds identical. Identical. If you watch Major League pitchers, their arm speed on every pitch is identical. It's just about the grip.
Reeder trying to help out his own cause. That's in the dirt. Had no chance to hit that. He's up to count 1-1.
And what can tend to happen when you're throwing that hook and you keep bouncing it in the dirt, Kyle, is you slow down that arm just to try to groove it over. You end up laying one out there. It's not what you want to do, especially against Wheatland.
Fastball. So we got 3-2, partner. We got the GC count. 3-2, I guess. 3-2. 1 out, so the runners can't go on the pitch. Might be able to do a hit and run here. Fly ball, that'll at least score 1, but there's a lot of topspin on that ball. Let's see where it lands. It indeed is caught, but it's a sacrifice fly, and another run for the Ducks. Just too deep to try to go home with that. You just got to cut it off and accept that another run scored.
The Reader helping himself, little sacrifice fly.
If that had dropped, it almost seems like that would be the game-winning hit, the way that Reader is pitching, and of course they got a lot of good arms out of the bullpen as well.
You never count anybody out, 14U, but it would have been a big blow.
That's why seeding in this tournament is so important. Those games you lost earlier in the regular season. Lemont, the away team, so they're running out of chances and they don't get last licks. Good pickoff play to second.
And I like the throw over, not because you're going to get the runner there. I just want Molesky to throw the ball somewhere that's not towards the plate. He's lost the zone a little bit this inning. He's hung some pitches. The fastball's flattened out a couple times.
As long as you have confidence in your second baseman, you can do that all day long, unless, of course, it's a 6-0 game. Then you got to get the plate. But, yeah, 2-0, if you have confidence in that second baseman. And not only that, it keeps the runners closer to the bag because they start thinking about it more.
It does a multitude of things, even though it's booed in every stadium in America.
You know, the baseball fans of today, they just can't win. Like, there was a conversation on sports radio today. Don't we want more 12-10 games? Well, wasn't the point to get the games done quicker? 12-10 doesn't get the games done quicker.
I mean, what was that, Cardinals World Series, where it was 6.5 hours? It was great, the David Freese game. It was a great game, but it lasted 6.5 hours. What is this, cricket?
Yeah. Well, the Rangers had their chance. Neftali Feliz on the mound, down to their last bullet, the Cardinals were, and Berkman and Freese kept getting the big hits, and then, of course, Freese with the walk-off.
Nuts game. Hopefully we're in for something like that here.
Could have been a strike. Home plate umpire's been consistent with that call today. So, partner, what do you think? Should we go with the robotic strike zone?
No, I like the human element. And now that comes from me as a manager, just working the umpire very nicely. So
of course, right?
It's like
nice.
It's an art form to me for you to build a relationship with an umpire.
Some of the times, managers get ejected just because they have to, because the game's gotten so out of hand, and you almost have to get ejected, especially when one of your players did.
You try not to at the youth level, I think.
Well, yeah. The youth level, you try not to. Even varsity, you try not to. But sometimes when Joe Madden got ejected, it's more to do with what was happening in the game versus how he felt about the umpire. Another bases loaded jam for the Indians. Might be Molesky's last inning. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled away. Good job by the catcher for the Indians, getting that hand behind his back and not trying to two-hand it, because that can lead to broken fingers when you try to do that.
He's done a great job behind the plate.
Ball dies on the grass, so for the Ducks, if they get a base hit, they got to know that, getting that secondary off second base. Fly ball near us. It's going to be a souvenir for a lucky fan, and he dropped it. That's an EF if you're scoring at home. Air on the fan.
What a massive pitch.
Another pitch by Molesky. That's fouled away right behind home plate. Cannot afford to give up any more runs, not just for the mathematical process of the game, but just for the momentum of the game.
But talk about a big at-bat. You're down 2-0. You've got the bases loaded. You have the cleanup hitter up. You've been struggling a little bit. You have him on a 1-2 count. He's fouled you off twice. This is a payoff pitch, if I've ever seen one.
1-2, here we go. Good pitch. Yeah, I agree. It was a little low, but it was a pitcher's pitch.
And Molesky just feels like, you know, because that's two pitches that, yeah, probably a good call, but they could have been called strikes. And as a pitcher, when you're out there and you're struggling, those that could be called strikes, you really, really want them.
That was an excellent pitch. Raised the zone a little bit. No choice when you got 2 strikes on you. You got to just fight it off and live another day.
How about the designated hitter, Jordan Shoemaker?
Well, when you're the DH, your one goal is to hit. So
He's doing it well. Great at bat here.
base hit. I'm not going to say it would be the game ender, but man, it would hurt for the Indians fans. That's right down the middle for strike 3. But the damage is done. The Ducks scored twice. We go to the top of the 4th. It's 2-0 Ducks here on Sports Broadcast Solutions.
Clear.
Make the next play. Okay? Make the next play. That's the play. You're covering first. That's a
Then you can
out.
just hit reset for outs.
Make the next play. Got it on line.
I was trying. I think you were trying to do it here. Because earlier I was trying to do it on my phone, but then I realized you were doing it.
Yeah, it was just. Wish we could have gotten 8:15, but I think like the Village of Glen Allen, they really want the lights off by 10:30, no later than 11. So that's why they're kind of rushing through these games. But top of the 4th as Chase Reeder. He's in the groove right now. You look at his stats coming into today's game. Only gave up 22 earned runs, 133 strikeouts, just 36 walks, and a whip of 1.16 ERA under 2. The guy can flat out pitch, Barton.
Yeah, and that lefty motion, man. Left-handers are so hard to hit in Major League Baseball, where they see them all the time. In youth baseball, lefties are rarer and rarer and rarer. When you get a guy that's throwing this hard with off-speed stuff and control and poise, and he works with the rhythm. The one thing the Lemont Indians have to do is step out of the box. They cannot let Chase Reeder work his rhythm over and over and over again. You got to call time. You got to tie your shoe. You got to talk to somebody in the dugout. You've got to make Reeder work on your time. If you don't do that, it's going to be a struggle, because if the kid's on rhythm, I mean, good luck hitting a lefty throwing that hard from that arm slot.
And the issue is that the home plate umpire doesn't grant time. You got to stay in the box, and I think the home plate umpire likes the rhythm for both pitchers.
I'm sure he does, but you know, make the umpire make you get in the box.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the type of, this is a championship game. That's gamesman. That's baseball. That's gamesmanship.
Or just do the Nomar Garcia-Parra thing and just adjust your gloves every single pitch.
Yeah, adjust your gloves. He's going right back in the box, and Reeder's on his rhythm.
You know, sometimes batters like quick pitchers, so maybe for the Lemont Indians, they like this with Truong at the plate, but yeah, the Reeder's just in a rhythm, and there you go, right down Broadway, strike 3.
And the batter might like it, but it's just, it's one of those strategy points where it can get lost on you, and it can be those thoughts you have 2 innings too late. And you go, man, maybe we should have slowed him down.
Yeah, 23. Let's go,
Oh, what do you say, 2-3? Let's go, kid.
Yeah.
Outside fastball for a strike.
Let's go, 2-3.
Let's go,
Talk one out there,
23.
kid.
Yeah.
What do you say?
And swung on and missed for another strike.
Love taking the big hack,
Oh, let's go, 2-3.
but that's just such a hard pitch.
Come on, kid. Come on, kid.
At least you got everything out of the swing.
Oh, yeah.
Attaboy, kid. Oh, what do you say, 2-3? Let's go,
Let's
kid.
go, 23.
Let's get
Come on,
started
kid.
here.
Yeah.
This time, Reeder had to take a couple more seconds to pitch. That's fouled away. I'll be back in another minute. We'll just take over.
Of course.
Good AP, kid.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. In the top of the 4th inning.
What do you say, 2-3? When you say B? When you say B?
You see Lemont Gomez taking his gloves off, slowing it down a bit, but he watches strike 3 right down the middle. He'll take the slow walk back to the dugout. 2 outs now in the inning. And is Reeder going to be stopped? That's the question. I'm not sure.
Let's go, Jay.
Wheatland up 2-0. And if Reeder keeps pitching like this, Kyle, welcome back. If Reeder keeps pitching like this, 2-0 might be all you need if you're Wheatland.
And according to the Game Changer, if you're wondering how good both pitchers are, both teams have a combined 2 hits. Indians 1, Wheatland 1. That's it. Sack flies and walks, and that's how the Wheatland Ducks are up 2-0. it's just so hard to read it because it looks like that changeup is going to be at the letters and then it just dies and goes where you can only tomahawk it unless you're a really good hitter. It's very hard to tomahawk it, so it just becomes a foul ball.
Just look how easy and relaxed he is. Wow.
Swung on this, strike three, and that does it. Indians go 1, 2, 3 through the order. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 2-0 Wheatland here on Sports Broadcast Solutions. All right, so I guess what happened with 13U is they went so fast they didn't give our guys a chance to go live. They just like started without telling us, so they weren't ready.
So not even a pregame interview.
I guess I don't know about. Well, they probably didn't have time for pregame, but they probably did postgame. For the you know, I mean you gotta meet us halfway here.
Looks good. I wish we'd had time to white balance. Are you ready?
Yeah. Bottom of the fourth, Ducks up 2-0. They only have one hit on the day. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Lucas Moore and Eric Ratchey. And Lemont can feel good about this right now. Lucas, I mean, they've only given up one hit, but they're down 2-0, and all that matters is the final score when you're in a championship game.
Yeah, and then Glotzbach's going to run out there and be the new pitcher this time for Lemont, replacing Molesky. Molesky pitched such a good game, 2 runs against this Wheatland team through 3 innings, especially the way he battled through that third. I tell you what, getting Shoemaker out there as a cleanup hitter with the bases loaded and not allowing any runs, we might look back on that moment as what kept Lemont in this game and what kept this championship close. Because if you let your cleanup hitter smoke a double in the gap there, Wheatland's up 5-0. Then you have Glotzbach coming to the game down 5, and he's got to get another out against their 5-hole. You get out of the inning, you let Glotzbach get a nice full warm-up in. Coach told him 10 minutes ago you're going to go in. He got to think about it some. He comes out, it's relaxed, and now you can make a nice transition into your relief pitching, right? Because this isn't a classic bullpen situation in 14U baseball. Yes, there's bullpens, places to warm up, but it's not his job to be a relief pitcher. His job is to play on the team, and then sometimes he'll come in and pitch. So it's a different mentality, a different situation, and getting that out was crucial, And if Lemont can hold on here, maybe they can stick something together and make this game really interesting down the stretch.
2-0 score for the Wheatland Ducks as you look at the defensive alignment. Hung at the plate, Solzberger behind the plate still. I bring up defensive alignment because they're going to change a little bit at 14U. Not as much as the younger levels, but fly ball into center, can of corn, and he steps about step to the right and a catch to start off the inning. 1 up, 1 down. That's to Chrisman, Crow back in right, Meyer in left, Wilms at third, Gomez at short, Ferguson at second, Phelan at first, and of course Glotzbach on the mound.
I love the aggressiveness on the first pitch. Hey, he's going to come out here and he's going to throw a fastball, right? First pitch, jumped on it. Yeah, you hit a hot fly ball to center, but that could have easily been in the gap.
Wind up and the pitch, high fastball for a ball. Comes set and the pitch by Glotzbach in the dirt for a ball.
Hey, coming at you right now. Go time. Nice.
And it looks like it just got the jersey, a break for the Ducks, and possibly a stolen base opportunity for Wheatland if they want to get aggressive.
And Steven's not a guy that's taken a lot of free passes this year, only 10 walks. It's actually lowest on the team. So the fact he got hit by a pitch, that's going to help his OBP more than he normally does.
Stolen bases, yeah, just 7, so not known for the wheels. Leading the team in stolen bases is Truong with 41. In the dirt for a ball.
Yeah, nice conservative lead for Stevens over at first. No reason to do anything crazy. You got the lead. You're on to their relief pitcher. If you're Wheatland, you feel really, really good right now. You just need to play a little add-on.
If you're Wheatland, do you think hit and run here?
I'm playing it conservative right now. I'm seeing what Glotzbach has, how his stuff's looking. Is he even going to hit the zone? He just hit a batter. I wouldn't go too aggressive yet.
Good frame, and the home plate umpire awards him with the strike. I always like catchers that move the knees, not the glove. When I'm umping games, I always hate when the catchers do this with the glove. It seems like you're cheating the strike zone. Move the knee and move the glove.
Yeah,
Don't try to bring the ball back in.
Well, you just got to turn your wrist in.
Yeah.
So if it's on the left side of the plate, I'm not going to do inside outside. You turn it in, you turn it down in the up part of the zone. You flip your wrist up on the bottom part of the zone. So you're exactly right. You don't want to move your arm. You just want to flick that wrist up.
Good pitch by Glotzbach.
Because if you'll notice, like great catchers like Yadi Molina, they'll get real low, and on those low fastballs, they like flick their wrist up, almost like they're showing the ball to the pitcher. And that's just to frame it a little better for the umpire.
Do you like some of the catchers that are going to one knee now to frame pitches? I'm not the biggest fan of it. Swung on and missed for a strike. That's strike 3. Good pitch by Glotzbach for the K.
I'm neutral on it. I think personally, if they're doing it, there's probably a really good reason. And if I sat down and talked to coaches for an hour, I'd be like, okay, I get it. Is it something that I think kids should be doing right now? I don't know. Probably not. That's something you can learn at a higher level, especially because it's easier. Now, maybe at the youth levels, if it's easier to get down on one knee, since it's being tried, you can consider it. It's baseball. Things will always change. Things will always change.
But then there's the old-timers that don't want things to change. That's fouled away. Give me back my all-star game that mattered for home field advantage in the World Series.
See, but you'd forget that it mattered until the World Series was coming up. And who's the home? Oh, why?
He's got that really interesting leg kick, this Glotzbach. It kind of creates a little bit of uneasiness for the batter.
Yeah, it's a little comfort zone. You just got to make sure the timing's right on it. You don't overextend it. You don't overkick it.
And you got to be careful of the runner at first. If you have too slow of a slide step, it's going to be a stolen base. Good pitch. And good job by the Ducks, but with 2 outs, you have to run to first. And Phelan catches it for the 2-3 putout on the drop there strike. So the damage is not done. We go to the top of the 5th. It is 2-0 Ducks here on Sports Broadcast Solutions.
New pitcher, guys. New pitcher. Let's watch them. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, they have an innings of pitch limit.
Pitch.
I know, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I like pressure pitches more than pitches. So, like, if you struck out 10 batters in 4 innings, I mean, is that really hard on your arm? I guess if you're tracking it and you're throwing 10 breaking balls on all those strikeouts, it's bad. But
I think the reason the rules are there is because you can't trust dads to do it right. Like, I like the rules because you're right. If you watch your kid, you know your kid's limits, but some people don't. You got to put the rules in, or else people will have their kid throw their arm off.
top of the 5th. Both teams have just a hit, but the good news is for the Ducks fans, they're up by 2 runs. It's 2-0 Wheatland ahead of the Lemont Indians. What a game we have today. It was led by Reeder, and now it's up to the bullpen to finish the job.
And in 7-inning games, it gets late real early. And that's what the Lemont Indians are facing here. They're down to just 9 outs, down by 2 in the championship game. So they'll have to dig deep here. Reeder coming out of the game because of pitch/inning limits helps them. Reeder was dealing. It did not feel like Lemont was going to get much going against Reeder the way they had been producing so far, so maybe they'll have a little bit more luck against Buck.
By the way, if you missed any of the action, just go to our YouTube channel at Sports Broadcast Solutions. We'll also have the 12U games and the 13U games on demand, as well as the interviews. Be sure to check out our Sports Broadcast Solutions YouTube channel and subscribe for all of your youth baseball, youth football, and all other sports. Wind up in the pitch by 44. It's in the dirt for a ball. So Zach Baca on the mound. Coming into today, 80 2/3 innings pitched with an ERA of 3.8, whip of 1.5. So the numbers aren't nearly as good as Reeder. But as long as you get outs, it might be just 3 outs for Baca, and then you go to the next bullpen pitcher. And for the Ducks, they just seem to be so well-rounded with the depth on this team.
Langen's going to be next. He's 3rd on the team in innings. And I don't imagine that he's 2nd on the team in innings. Baca's actually 3rd. I don't imagine them straying away from their top 3 for the championship.
They do have Calderero if they want to go that route. He's pitched 65 in the 3rd innings. Great pitch. I mean, everything's working for the starter and Reeder, and now the bullpen pitcher in Baca. The changeup, the curveball, the fastball, just nothing's working at the plate right now for the Indians.
Yeah, and Lemont feels like they need a break. Some bounce, some bad hop.
Just a base runner in scoring position, I think, would do wonders for the optimism and the momentum of the game for Lemont. Just to have that runner in second base would help.
And how about Baca? Same rhythm as Reeder.
That didn't miss by much, but it's a ball rewarded by the home plate umpire.
Yeah, he wanted to call it. Felt it. Felt that little shoulder twitch.
There you go. There's the base hit. Now, the problem is you can't really steal because you're down 2. You can think about it. But really, what matters is the guy at the plate. Really, what you're looking for is just a rally. Another walk, a base hit, and get the confidence lower of the Ducks and have them think about it a little bit more.
Well, don't try to win the game right now. Right? Just try to have a good at-bat. I mean, that's what I'd be telling my kids in the dugout right now. Hey, have a good at-bat. Have a good at-bat. Have a good at-bat. Take your time, make him work, have a good at-bat. You do that a few times in a row, then you get something cooking.
Oh, man, almost got him.
You got to be real careful. It's a pinch runner, by the way.
So courtesy runner Phelan in. With 14U, they do courtesy runners, less than 2 out, keep the game going. Good at bat. It's going to be a tough play. Bare hands, he's got a chance. One hopper, and he missed. First baseman did not get off the bag, so runners get into scoring position, and there's the break that my partner was talking about. The Indians in business.
Yeah, and that's just a tough play for Langen at first. What a play from the shortstop Reeder. Just grabbing it. That's a good throw. It's going to go in the book as an error on Reeder. But just nothing more you can ask from a kid on a bare hand throw that late. That's a tough pick from Langen at first. Nearly an impossible pick. Almost got it. It looked like it went through his glove. So close to being a major league level play, or at least a minor league level play.
It would have been the major league level play from both short and first base. Here's a little liner to short, and they're going to say the runner collided with Reeder. Runner's got to go back.
No run.
We don't have the best angle here. I'd love to see that on replay. But, yeah, it did look. Now, here's the rule. You're entitled to the baseline, but you can't lean into the infield. You're entitled to the baseline, but you can't lean into the infield. If you lean with the shoulder, that's the call. And it's not even reviewable at the major league. So it's just a tough call.
There's no real argument here. If you are the base runner and the fielder is coming into the baseline to field the ball, however the rule's written or not, you got to stop. You cannot hit him because you're going to get an interference call. It's exactly what happened there.
First base open, your partner. You want to put him on or you want to attack?
I'm not putting him on because that would be the go-ahead run. I'm not comfortable with that. I'd go ahead and go at him. 2 outs. Get that force at first.
You're a count. Gotta come to you know what to do with
all these games have been exciting. Hope the All-Star game in Major League Baseball is just as exciting as what we had here in Glen Ellen.
I'll watch the highlights.
See, you're part of the problem, Lucas, why nobody is watching these live games.
I watch games that matter.
Game 7 of the World Series, and that's it?
No, come on.
Fouled away.
Made my way out to American Family Field.
Yeah,
Miller should be Miller Park.
I hate it.
They're called the Brewers. Miller, come on.
I love the Sox. I wish it was called U.S. Cellular Field. I'm sorry, I can't get into guaranteed.
This is a great meeting here. Absolutely great time for the meeting from Truong. Go talk to the pitcher, Baca. Think of the situation.
Hey, Mo, you got to score on a base hit.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The tying run at second base. And it's just the 5th inning on your scoreboard. Remember, we're playing 7.
Pitch by Baca, good pitch. Even better stop. Remember, it's a huge backstop behind home plate, so that would have scored 1. And if it takes a bad hop, if you have a good runner in second, he could think about it.
You never know. Got to be solid behind the plate.
3-2, big pitch. Just got a piece of it.
Talk about pressure pitches. Lemont had a pressure situation with the bases loaded back in the bottom of the 3rd. They kept Wheatland at just 2 runs there. Now can they turn this pressure situation with runners on 2nd and 3rd into a few runs for themselves?
Fly ball, but it's going to be an easy play in right. So Lemont threatens, but they can't score. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Runners left at second and third here on SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone.
Knock it off. Shut up.
Eric, was he in the baseline?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The batter out. They looked like they were going like this. They were in each other's face. So I caught it. You'll see it.
Yeah, it's a good call.
It was weird.
It's a good call. It's a call you got to make. Because it would have caused an error on the fielder, so. Just say if he didn't make that call.
What are you looking at on this line?
You ever used Game Changer before?
No, what is it?
So it's pretty cool. Like, so what they'll use what's called a Game Changer app. You can use live stats on your phone instead of having to do everything pen and paper, and it interacts as an interface. Everybody can watch the live stats.
Gotcha.
You ready, Kyle?
Bottom fifth, and we've seen everything today, just not a lot of run scoring, especially for the Indians. It was a controversial call if you're just joining us on top of the fifth, but me and my partner went over it. It's a tough call, but a call the base umpire had to make. It stinks for Indians fans, but it looked like it was the right call.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lesson to everybody out there playing a little baseball. If you are the base runner and you run into the fielder, I mean, you can go through the rule book all you want, you can read things, but if you run into the fielder that's making a play on the ball and you cause him to miss the ball, bobble it, fall, anything, you or the batter will be called out. That's how it's going to happen every time, especially at this level. As a base runner, you got to do everything you can to avoid the fielders. You cannot run into the fielders.
The only time it's called on the fielder is if the fielder interacts and avoids the baseline. So that's called obstruction. It's very rarely called, but that can also be called the fielder. But the fielder has to be able to get the ball.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going for the ball, you shouldn't worry about the runners. The runners got to worry about you. That's how it's coached. That's how it's taught. And it's just, you're in a championship game. I get it. You're running down the line. It's tough to criticize somebody for running in there, but it's just an unfortunate play, and it's a good call.
See if that impacts the rest of the day for the Indians. They still got time. A couple more bats. Oh, look at that pick. And an excellent throw to Phelan for the out. Like Fernando Tatis Jr. with that pick at shortstop.
Brandon Gomez, I mean, that is just, that's what you want in a shortstop. Calm under the face of pressure. That ball sped up when it hit the lip, and it didn't really matter to Gomez. He just flipped that glove out there, made a nice smooth play, good throw. That's great baseball.
Wind up in the pitch by Glotzbach, and that's high for a ball. Lynch at the plate.
It's an important out. Swing back around to the top of the Ducks lineup. So if you can get 2 outs heading into it, it's big.
Oh, you got to wear that, kid. You got ice.
I'll turn that thigh in there.
I used to have a coach that would get mad when I wouldn't get hit by the ball.
I would never get mad, but I'd be in there like, hit.
I think we had a guy behind me that was like on a hitting streak. He was like 8 for 12. So if I'd gotten hit, it would have loaded the bases. So he was kind of wanted me to lead into it for the bases loaded. Glotzbach in a rhythm right now, coming out of the bullpen. Wind up right down Broadway for a strike. 3-1 the count now here at beautiful Village Green Park. We're actually at the varsity field, home of the Glenbard West Hilltoppers. Fly ball. It's fouled away. If you ever have a chance, Lucas, go to Glenbard West High School. You will not be disappointed. Right on a hilltop.
Yeah, I got to make it out here to the suburbs. Haven't really had much opportunity since I made the trek from Ohio to here. So, a beautiful ballpark. This is the best youth facility I have been at in a long, long, long time.
Lined up in the pitch. Pop fly. It's going to make its way to the outfield. It's going to get in between short and left, so Gomez and Meyer can't handle it. And a base hit for Lynch.
Oh, that's just brutal. 10-hole hitter. Remember, we're batting 10.
Yep.
10-hole hitter. You get back from a 3-0 to a 3-2, and he bloops one off the handle in the left.
Well, that's just why the Ducks are in a championship game. Everybody can hit in this lineup.
And it was a great job by Lynch to get his bat on it. But as a pitcher, you're just sitting there, oh, that felt like that could have been a key out. And now you got to deal with the top of the lineup.
Down, Brandon, double play,
True
Jeff,
on.
get in now. Way to work, Shane. Way to work,
Bottom of
bud.
the fifth. If you're just joining us, Wheatland scored 2 in the bottom of the third, and that's it. Each team has 2 hits, according to the Lemont Indians game changer account. Actually, Wheatland has more errors, so the defense is arguably even better for Lemont. Just a couple more walks from Lemont, and that's where we stand right now. 2-0 advantage for the Ducks.
Reeder had an unfortunate error where most people would not have made an error on the play because the fact he even was able to make the throw was incredible when he barehand picked one off the grass. A lot of situations, it's just probably a base hit or a no throw, but he made the throw, so then he made the error.
Nice work, Jay.
Indians had runners at second and third, less than 1 out, and a big call was the right call. Runner interference that made it 2 out, and then the Indians just could not get those runners in with 2 Ducks on the pond.
It was about to be 2-1 with runners on the corner.
Yep. So if he had just gone back to second or stayed there, who knows what would have happened. So it was a little bit high for the ball. Remember, it's from the batter's original stance. It's not where he bends, it's from his original stand-up stance that the home plate umpire is looking for.
Ready, Kyle.
Because some batters can abuse the system where you'd see like Jeff Bagwell would get into that really bent down
Turn it
stance.
up, turn it up.
Little 5-hopper to second, bobbled it, close play at short, and they got him.
Hey, wait, stay ready, that's all right.
Gomez, he's just excellent. He didn't panic. He just waited and waited and waited and then got to the bag for the out. Knowing it's a neighborhood play, got to the bag in time for the out.
You know what I love is the expectation from the players, not the coaches. Coaches were very positive on that play. It's a bobble, it happens, way to make the play at second. But you could feel the players. Ferguson thinks he should have made a double play there. To him, that's a tailor-made double play. And having that type of attitude and confidence on the field, really rare, 14 and under. And that's what both these teams have exuded, especially in their fielding. They are uber confident in themselves, and they deserve to be. Great fielders. Almost everybody on the field today I've seen is a really good fielder.
In the dirt, close play, good throw would have had him. But one hop and took a bad hop off the grass, and then puts a runner at second with 2 down.
Hey, kid. I got shortstop, you got second. Get run into you, run into you. Come on, Jay. Good.
High fastball that time was a strike awarded to Glotzbach.
Well, you saw why Truong was the leadoff hitter there. Great jump.
A bit short.
And with that little hitch Glotzbach has,
You good?
and you got Truong with that type of speed, all he's got to do is get a decent jump, and he's going to get there.
Go, 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 go. Come on, let it go, let it go.
That's just good play by the third baseman. The only way it's getting past me is if it's foul. It's well read. Good job. Not hugging the line, but playing it well to get to that spot with the glove to make sure it doesn't go past you.
Hey, 2 strikes,
Wilms
2
at
outs
third
on the
base.
swing, kid. 2 strikes, 2 outs on the swing.
See if Reeder can help himself. You're already an RBI today.
He got
Back.
really good wood on that ball to make it 2-0. It was almost a home run if he had gotten a little bit, if he'd waited on a little bit more, it probably would have been a home run, but missed the fence by about 5 feet.
A little more.
Wind up in the pitch.
Go, 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 score, score.
This is going to score him most likely. Because it dies on the grass, no chance for the outfielder to get to that quick enough. That's practically a backbreaker for the Indians. Now 3-0, you need a 3-run homer to tie it. It could happen, but I just don't see it right now.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of key moments in this game. I go back to the first inning, and when Lemont got doubled up, you get a base runner early in the game on Reeder. Maybe you throw him off his rhythm, and you get doubled up on a line drive, and that's really tough to swallow. And you go back to the runner's interference. Runners on second, third, you're about to be down 2-1 with runners on the corners. Now you're down 3-0.
High fastball for the ball. By the way, if you're wondering why they're called the Lemont Indians, that is the high school that most of these players will be attending next year, which their mascot for now is called the Indians. Things might change the next couple of years as the Cleveland baseball team will be changing, but they'll be going to Lemont High School next year. Some will be going to Hinsdale Central, and you look at this roster, they're going to be playing a lot of different sports. We talked about Sulzberger with wrestling. You got players like Brennan Myers, who's a great basketball player, makes a lot of catches in the outfield. It's great to see because when you play different sports, it teaches you different skills that you can use in baseball.
Don't quote me on this number, but I believe the number is 80% of professional athletes played multiple sports in high school. So if if you're ever wanting to be a pro, or you want somebody you know, or your child to be a pro, they have to play both sports. It's almost like a guarantee. You got to play multiple sports.
Just a lot of movement on that four-seam fastball. No chance for Langen to get a piece of it.
And the reason for that is if you take 3 months off of something, you actually are better when you come back, because all those bad habits you picked up along the way, all that goes away, and it's just your muscle memory of how you learn to pitch.
Hey, what is spoilers?
Just barely got a piece of it. I thought it was a drop third strike.
It's a great piece of hitting. That's why Mike Langen's in the 3-hole. Younger brother Liam in remission now. So happy to hear that. He's just behind home plate. Wasn't really engaged in the 13U game, but I'm sure he's locked in to his brother's at-bat.
Just a humongous hole in left center. Right down the middle, strike 3. Lemont has a couple more innings to tie this one up. Will they do it? We'll find out. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. By the way, for future games, I have a monitor. I didn't get set up because we had to go so fast, but if you ever do another game for us, I would put the monitor so you can move OBS onto the monitor so you don't have to double track.
That would make it easy. It's been good though. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks for having me out, man.
Yeah, sorry, you're supposed to have 18 games.
Guys, do me a favor. The lineup seriously is right here. When you guys ask in between innings, I mean, this is our 46th game this year. Just know where you're going. Just know where you're going.
Boys, we're only chasing 3. Not that much score.
On YouTube. Yeah, you made the right call. It's 3-0 Ducks here in the top of the 6th. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Lucas Moore. A very fun night of baseball. We've done doubleheaders for the 12U, 13U, and of course the 14U. If you missed any of the action, just go to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. By the way, you can also watch the live streams again if you'd like. You just search the teams to find those. But for the on-demand content, just go to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com, and you can either search the entire game or just search by your team name. So if you want to watch a pregame interview or postgame interview with the Wheatland Ducks, you would just search Wheatland Ducks postgame interview on YouTube, and it's right there to view as many times as you would like.
Been a great game. Really feels like a professional game, doesn't it? Fast-paced. And I know we've got 3 errors on the board, but it hasn't been that type of game. It hasn't been like a 3-error game. It's been very cleanly fielded. It's been really well played. I've been very, very impressed. I'm heaping praise, but I really do genuinely mean it. I don't give it out often. I mean, these kids are good.
Bobble still has time and gets him out at second.
It's just like there's so much I can credit there. Just keeping your body in front of the ball. Simple stuff. They do every simple thing right. And if you can do that and have physical talent, you're going to go a long, long way. And I'm just very impressed by Jim Baca and the ability to teach the fundamentals on this Wheatland Ducks team.
Meanwhile, for the Indians, led by Brian Ferguson, what do you think went wrong tonight? I don't think a lot of things went wrong besides that play at second base with the shortstop.
Yeah, I think that Ferguson is going to point back to 3 mental errors. The doubled up, they had the runner interference was a mental error, and there was one other where they weren't perfect. And in a championship game, you got to be perfect, right? These are mistakes that happen in a baseball game when you're playing Wheatland. When it's going to be 3-0 or 3-1 or 3-2, that's what's going to matter at the end of the day. Who makes less mental mistakes, or just a couple of lapses in judgment from Lemont, and that's going to happen. And it's just unfortunate because they've got talent. They played well tonight, especially with the type of pitching they've been facing. But just the few opportunities they had to score runs, mental mistakes took away those opportunities.
Come on, kid.
All right, now,
Lemont needs base runners, and they need them quickly down to their last 5 outs. There's one. A couple more to really make the Ducks think about it. Good news for Lemont. Reeder cannot pitch again because with continuous batting order, everybody plays. So in majors, what you can do, of course, is there's a pickoff play to first. But when the majors, what sometimes happens is you see a manager put the pitcher in left field, bring him back in. Doesn't happen a lot, but you can do that. Not for tonight's game with continuous batting. I remember one game for the Cubs, Joe Madden did that, and they put Brian Dunsing in left field, and he told 670 the score that he was petrified the ball was going to be hit to him.
He's a pro. He's out there. He'll make it.
As much as I love Eloy Jimenez, sometimes I'm scared when he's in left field. That's a stolen, well, pass ball.
I'd give it a wild pitch. It skipped.
Okay, I thought it hit the dirt, but
I wouldn't stick that.
as long as it hits the dirt, it's a wild pitch. If it hits glove entirely, it's a pass ball. Three hopper to third. Look at that pick, and the throw is even better, and the pick at first is the best. It's just picture-perfect defense tonight for the Wheatland Ducks.
Calm defense, too. You notice? Did not find the ball right away in his glove. And so often when that happens, you'll see panic set it. Where's the ball? Where's the ball? Where's the ball? And then you make a wild throw. But he was calm, found the seams, threw a nice ball over there. It's good defense, good baseball.
2 outs. Lemont desperately needs this run. Can't really do a squeeze bunt down 3, but you got to find a way to score them.
Just got to get a base hit. Sometimes this game's really simple, Kyle. Hit it where they ain't. And right now, if you're Lemont, that's what you need right now.
Can't swing at that, but it's just hard to lay off that when there's so much bite on that 4-seam fastball.
And that's such an appealing pitch, that shoulder high. It's an appealing pitch until it's 85. Then it's no longer appealing, and then it's not very effective to swing at those.
Late on the swing. It's going to drop, but right field has a good break on it, and the right fielder catches it, and that does it for the Indians. They're down their last 3 outs. Meanwhile, bottom of the 6th with the Ducks up 3. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Hey, let's pop out. Let's pop out.
I want to talk to as a coach, but I want to talk to players, obviously. So let me think. Yeah, let's talk. For sure.
Yeah, so somebody from Lamont's dugout is doing that on their phone.
Or iPad.
So Wheatland does it, but they do what's called the Game Changer Team Manager. So it's an app that you have to download. It's pretty, so like when you're filming your baseball game.
Yeah, like I did it for 8th grade coaching, and I had like OPS.
Ready? Bottom of the 6th. Time is really running out now for the Indians, but they can't worry about that. They got to play defense and get 3 quick outs. Meanwhile, the Ducks have just been slightly the better team. It doesn't show up so much on the scoreboard besides runs scored. You got 2 hits for the Indians, 3 hits for Wheatland. But it's the defensive plays, and even when Wheatland makes an error, it comes from an excellent defensive play at shortstop.
As all great baseball games should be, as all talented baseball teams should play, it will always be 2 or 3 things that decide 80% of baseball games. And this is one of those 80%, where you're going to look back at 3 plays if you're Lemont, 3 moments where if you do a little better job, maybe it comes out different. You know, maybe it's different. Maybe if the runner stops it, maybe it's different. And I think you're going to hang on that if you're not able to find a rally, which is getting late here with the bottom of the 6th. Only 3 outs left for the Indians.
By the way, we wish the Indians all kinds of success as they go into their freshman year at Lemont High School. Some of them are already freshmen.
Hit by pitch.
Lemont pleading that it hit the knob, but it sure looked like it hit the batting gloves before the bat. Now you can appeal that at first, but the home plate umpire has a much better angle than the base umpire.
Oh, no.
He's saying it's a swing. Oh,
the argument is that it hit the knob. It was not a swing.
Yeah, no, it didn't hit the knob.
So if I thought maybe I had not seen it hit the knob, but then I thought maybe that's what the argument was here about. that it hit the knob. But no, they're trying to make an argument that it was a swing and should be a strike. Obviously, if you swing and get hit by a pitch, it's still a strike.
It's very hard to fake when you've gotten hit. So, like, when you're really holding your hand in pain, it's very hard to fake that. Now, the thing is, if it hit the knob first, then the batting glove, then that's a foul ball.
And it could still hurt his hand.
But that's just so rare. The law of physics for that to happen is almost impossible.
I mean, if you're Glotzbach, you can't throw it to where it would hit the knob of his bat. And that pitch was high and in. It got away from him.
It's a base hit in the outfield. The Ducks are in business. I actually have an interesting story about the knob of the bat. For all you White Sox fans out there that are watching and listening, the famous Paul Konerko World Series Grand Slam actually happened because the previous batter, Jermaine Dye, had a 3-2 count, and on replay, it actually hit the knob of the bat, but the home plate umpire said hit by a pitch. He loaded up the bases. Paul Konerko hit the first pitch with Chad Qualls coming out of the bullpen, and the rest is history.
I could have given that game. They did it in 4, so.
Here it is, that grass. It just dies. It just makes every play so much tougher for the infielders. You know, if it's a regularly hit ball, that might be a 4-6 put out at second, but when it dies on the grass like that, you have no choice but to go to first.
Yeah, but the grass has been there. Yeah, it's so hard. You're taught as a second baseman, oh, that's hard hit, and you kind of sit there. You got to know when you're playing on a field like this. It's got to be emphasized when you're playing on a field like this. You got to charge everything on the ground. No matter how hard you think it's hit, you have to be moving towards it because it's going to die. If you don't move towards it, you're going to get bad hops. You'll have everything happen to you. Still got the out, still a nice play, but Chrisman's got to come hard at that ball no matter how hard it is at the bat.
First base open, your partner, you want to put him on?
I'm just going at him here. I mean, I know you set up the double play. I wouldn't put him on. Maybe if you lose him 2-0.
And, well, I think down 3, you're thinking infield in, go home with it. Swung on and missed. Now it's 1-1 in the count, too late to do it. But
Let's go, bring it.
Infield.
it's going to be a tough play. Infield in, you're thinking you got to go home unless it dies on the grass. It's going to be a really tough play because remember, you got to tag him. And you can't block the plate anymore until you have the ball.
Hey, we got to have it. We got to have a ball in play. Let's go.
And, you know, you hear the first base coach for the Ducks saying, got to have it, put the ball in play. Yeah, I mean, you're up by 3. Just put the ball in play, especially with this grass. It makes it that much tougher on these infielders.
Always easier said than done.
Good pitch. 1-2. It's not really a waste pitch. What you're trying to do is get that batter to bite. Now, you don't have to throw a strike on 1-2, so you throw it a little bit above the zone, get him to swing at it.
Good discipline there from Baca.
Baca's just trying to put it in play. 3-2, and I like the decision here by Glotzbach.
Hey, we got to have it right here, Zach.
We want to get an out, but more importantly, I can't give up a base hit. So if I put him on, it's not the worst thing in the world. Let's see if I can strike him out.
You have 8, 9, 10 coming up, too. Honestly, this one, I'm putting it high and outside.
There it was. All right, here we go. Decision time for the Indians, down 3. With this grass, you don't trust it, so you have to go infield in and go home with it on the force out.
Yeah, and just see if your catcher can make a great play and sling it down the first base line. And then that's how you're hoping to get a double play here.
Yeah, obviously, 1, 2, 3 would be the easiest double play, but with that grass, you just don't know. And at 14U, they're not 90 feet usually. It's 80 feet. Good pitch. Right on the outside part, right at the knees for strike 1.
Hey, one down, boys. Josh, be aggressive. You can see everything in front of you.
Hard time to win for Lemont when you continue to put the bases loaded. But they found their way to get out of most of these jams. Ground ball, and it takes a Lemont bounce to the foul side of the first base line.
Gotta get in play. Gotta get in play.
Jim, your hand on that, right? Forget that play at first.
Anything shallow, you're going home with it, no cut. If you're the Ducks, are you tagging on anything? You're going to be a little bit conservative.
Tyler, make it a little bit to your right.
It depends on the runner at third. I would tag most of the time. This is really going to depend on how deep it gets.
Swung on and missed, strike 2.
All right, rubber's up.
Now you got to adjust now, strike 3. Getting too old for this game, Lucas. Strike 3, he's out.
You've been here all day.
I appreciate it. Strike 3 is out, so that does away with the sacrifice fly. Base is full of Ducks. And with that grass, you hit it down the line, it's almost an automatic 3-base hit.
Would you say there are 3 Ducks on the pond?
You know, if the ball gets hit at them, they should probably duck.
All right, we're getting too punny.
I think we're punishing our viewers.
Oh, man, Kyle.
Are we allowed to do those jokes if we're not dads?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
No, that's what I thought. One and one the count. It's in the dirt for the ball.
Hey, coming at you. Let's swing it. Let's go.
As soon as I am a dad, though, be slinging them. Non-stop puns.
What position is your son going to play? Or daughter if she wants to play softball.
Whatever they want.
Oh, good rip. Good rip. I like it.
Every position's important.
Hey.
I'll tell them catcher's no fun, because that's the only position I
Oh,
want
you
to play.
can't be hating on my position. I love catcher. It's the only position that can see the entire field.
I'm too tall. It hurts my knees.
God, I love catching. Swung on and missed, strike three. The Lemont Indians get out of the jam, but they got some work to do, and they've only got 3 outs to work with. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
All right, they got a chance.
This is our last at bat. Okay. Let's leave it all on this field. Okay. Leave it all on this field. Let's put some pressure on this guy. If anybody we've done it a lot. Okay. Let's get some runs. Let's go. Come on.
You have to give up all your guys. Let's not do it now. Let's go.
Let's go, boys.
Fighting to the end. Let's go.
Come on, let's get 3. Let's get 4.
I heard what was said in the huddle.
Where are we holding, boys? Let's go.
Hey, we did it before.
Got about 10 seconds left of this commercial. Nobody called me, so I guess they don't want our business.
Let's do it, guys. Let's do it right here. One runner at a time.
It's a good angle.
3-0 score. Kyle Smith alongside Lucas Moore. The Indians, they need base runners quickly.
Well, like Coach Ferguson, I heard what he had to say in the huddle. He said, leave it all on the field. I mean, it's a simple message, but leave it all on the field. You've worked so hard all year. Leave it all out here. One of the assistant coaches added, you've never given up. You didn't give up when the season started slow. Don't give up now. Don't give up now. And when you've got 3 outs and 3 runs to make up, not giving up is very key. Beautiful thing about baseball, though, until the last out is made, you definitely have a chance.
Don't ever tell that to Neftali Feliz. He has nightmares about that.
Oh, better now. Give it a ride, kid.
Sure,
Give it a ride.
What was it, the closer for the Indians? Jose Mesa still has nightmares about that.
Poor for you. Not poor for you, though.
Want to defend the pitch. You know, I was rooting for Cleveland, not just because the Cubs were in the World Series, but I mean, I love the movie Major League, and yeah, I mean the Cubs 1908, but it's not like the Indians fans had it much better. They hadn't won the World Series since 1948. So, and of course, AL Central, White Sox.
I've been to Chicago, I've been to Cleveland. I'm glad to coach.
Almost didn't, though. Rajay Davis had something to say about that.
See if a little 2016 magic can fly into the bats of Lemont.
Swung on and missed. Very hard to hit that pitch. It's just so well located. The only thing you can do with it is foul it off.
And Jim Bach has got to be really happy he might not need to use Langan, who would have been his 3rd arm tonight.
Oh my gosh. Now you're wondering, well, is that really that good of a curveball because it's hanging? Well, you just don't expect it there. You think it's going to go on the inner part. You don't expect it to die and stay outside like that. It's just a wonderfully done curveball.
Yeah, and you got to have, it's tough. Again, easier said than done. But that's a pitch. You just hang those hands back, you let it get deep in the zone, and you flick it to right field. That's what you want to be doing on type of off-speed pitch. Because your hips go, everything fires, and you got to keep those hands back. And you just got to hit it late in the zone and just put barrel on it and flick it into right field or foul it off.
A little low for a ball. This is a team through 7/8/21. July 8th of 2021. Their record 77-31 for the Ducks. If you beat this team, keep the ball. That's what they said.
And that's what you need. You need a little luck. You need the guys in the dugout to clap a little bit, to believe.
For the Ducks, you shake it off and be like, we're up 3. We got 2 outs to work with. Let's just get an out.
Yeah, but you're playing double play depth here. See if you can twist 2 to end it. Which, with the way the fielding's been today, it's been excellent. A double play would be a fitting way to end it.
If you're wondering how good the offense for the Ducks has been this year, 142 extra base hits, which is a team record, and according to head coach Jim Baca, a lot of that has been with P3, which is moving the tires. And credit to their hitting coach Connor Powers, former Mississippi State alum.
Boy, Powers is the best name for a hitting coach on planet Earth. Powers. It's like if his first name were Slugger is the only way it could get better.
Second best Powers that was ever born.
Can't have that. You got to be looking 3.
No, you can't. Down 3. Down 1 I would, not down 3. Unless I got Ricky Henderson on the base pass, I can't risk it there. Your run matters, but it also doesn't matter. You're looking for a rally.
But again, you got to turn like you are. You know, you got to sell it and at least try to draw a throw, which you did. It's a great job. Now you got to run around second.
Just unhittable pitches from Reeder and Baca.
40 needs you on now.
See what adjustment the Indians can make in their final inning of the WSBL season. In the dirt for a ball. 3 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors for Wheatland. 0 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Indians. 2-1 the count. 1 dead, 1 at second. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to short. Should be an easy play. Fielded well. Thrown to first. And 2 outs for the Wheatland Ducks. For the Indians, 1 base runner at a time is what you got to be thinking.
Let's go, Mo. Come on, kid.
And actually, the Wheatland Ducks game changer count, they're meaner on their defense. They've given their team 4 errors.
I love that.
I love game changer. It's just so fun to see what each team thinks of hits versus errors. Swung on a miss first one. Just everybody hit for the Ducks when they needed to. Lynch, the 10-hole hitter, don't tell him that, 2 for 2. Calderaro 1 for 3, 0-2 count as that's fouled away at third base side. Good job staying alive. And remember, no time limit tonight for the championship game. So the Indians, all you need is just keep getting the base running.
In a 2-out rally, if the first guy can get it, there can usually be something that gets kicked off.
Oh my gosh, where was that? Oh. Woo. Didn't miss by much.
Hey, Molesky would shout back to the third when he was on the mound. He had a couple close calls.
This should do it to Reeder. And the championship goes to the Wheatland Ducks-Green team. Look at the sportsmanship at first base. The Indians fall just short. And the championship for the boys from the Wheatland Athletic Association. Congratulations to both teams, but a bigger congratulations to the Ducks. Final thoughts, Lucas, before we go to the postgame show.
I thought both teams played great. I think both teams are highly talented. I think there's going to be a lot of successful high school players. And if there isn't at least 1 or 2 college players on this field, I would be extremely surprised, So the talent here was amazing. It had the rhythm and the flow of a high-level high school baseball game. There were plays that were high-level professional plays. Really a great game from both teams. Lemont's just going to feel like there are 3 moments where if they would have been perfect, a little sharper, a little more on top of it, maybe things could have gone different. But Wheatland was a machine all year. Wheatland was a higher seed. Wheatland with those 2 arms, Reeder and Baca, that's a hard thing to go against.
So we're going to take a break. Post-game interviews coming up next, brought to you by the West Suburban Baseball League. You're watching SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone.
I'm getting ate up. Yep. Who do we want for Lemont?
Either Molesky or Hotspot.
I'll just keep running that.
Did we interview him last week? No, we didn't, right?
It was Schultz. Oh boy. Those most eats are getting heavy. Hey man, I'm a city slicker. This ain't cool. I was used to this 2 years ago, not now.
It was 7-1, now it's 7-6.
I think I'm being dramatic. I'll stop.
Heads up, guys. Listen, second place out of 26 AAA.
Connected house. At some point in the next week. That thing connected?
Hey, there's your glove out here, guys. You got my